kids. We're so glad you joined us today for the big God story. Today, we're going to take a journey.
What? A journey? Can I go? Where are you going? Give me just a minute to pack. Let's see what I'll need. I need a hat, some sunglasses, I need some clothes, a map, a backpack, some snacks, sunblock, and so much more. Are we going by boat, train, plane, camel, or car? I hope it's a car because I love a good road trip.
Well, sorry to tell you, Sierra, it's not that type of journey. You see, today's lesson is all about God is our healer. And we're going to take a journey with Jesus. Look at 3 people who had great faith. Then they stepped out of their comfort zone and walked up to Jesus because they knew that he had the power to heal. So let's take that journey with Jesus right now.
This is the story of Jesus. Oh, and how he healed 3 people. One day, Jesus was traveling down a mountain, and as he made his way down from the mountain, a large crowd started to follow him. Jesus walked and he walked. As he approached a town and he was entering the gates, a man who had a terrible skin disease of leprosy came up to Jesus and knelt before him.
Wait, what type of disease did this man have? A leopard?
No, not a leopard. This man had leprosy. It was a skin disease which is contagious. Back in the Bible times, lepers were forced to walk on the other side of the street and live far away from their families. And to make matters worse, no one was allowed to touch them.
The man said, "Hey, Jesus, couldn't you maybe take a look at my skin?" The man with leprosy continued on and he says, "That's right, no one will come near me, not even my sweet old Granny Edith."
I bet he was lonely. I wonder how Jesus healed him since he could not touch him.
The man with leprosy called out, "Lord, if you're willing, can you make me clean?" You will be surprised at what happened next. As soon as the man called out to Jesus, Jesus reached out and touched him. And then he called out in a big voice, "Be clean!" And you won't believe what happened. The man had no spots, and he was happy. Soon after, Jesus got into a boat and crossed over the lake onto the other side. A large crowd was waiting for him. They gathered round him. Then all of a sudden, a synagogue leader named Jairus came up to Jesus. He fell at his feet and pleaded with him earnestly. He said, "My daughter is dying. Please come put your hand on her so that she will be alive and healed." So Jesus said, "Let's go to your house." Jesus and his disciples started to walk to the man's house to heal his daughter. But along the way, he was interrupted. And something was about to change. You will see there was a woman who suffered 12 years with an issue that involved blood. This illness had really taken a toll on her life. She was not allowed to go many places or have contact with people, and she was even forbidden to enter the temple to worship God.
Kevin, you see this?
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I gotta go in. I gotta see Jesus.
No, you know the rules.
I gotta go in.
No.
They won't let me in to see Jesus.
Here, let's talk.
I have to go in.
Okay,
I have to go in.
Let's
Wait, no, I have to go
Let's
in.
talk to our boss.
They
Yeah.
won't let me go in to see
Boss,
Jesus. I have to get to
Boss,
Jesus.
what do you think?
Let
Oh,
me in.
yeah, so
Let
I'm
me
here.
in.
Yeah.
Let me in.
Your boss is here. and
Yes, boss. What do you think?
No.
Is she
Let
allowed
me
in?
in.
You got
No.
blood. You got blood
Let
me-
disease. Whoa.
Let me in. I gotta go see Jesus.
She's healed.
One day, she heard that Jesus was coming from a boat into her town, and she had an idea. She said to herself, "If only I would touch his robe, then I would be healed." So she gathered her courage and took a walk down the road where Jesus would be walking by. Just then, as Jesus was walking by, she reached out and touched the hem of his robe, bowing down to grab her coat. And guess what? In that very moment, she was healed.
Wait a minute. How did touching Jesus' coat heal her?
Well, back in Bible times, a rabbi or a teacher of the law wore a robe. In the robe, they sewed symbols of authority into the hem. So, this woman with an issue of blood touched the symbol of authority on Jesus' robe. She was healed, and Jesus said, "Take heart, daughter. Your faith has healed you." And the woman was healed at that moment.
Now what happened to the little girl?
Jesus left the woman and continued his way to the leader's house. Jesus came walking up to the house. He heard a noisy crowd. The people were playing pipes and people were crying. And Jesus, he was looking around at the crowd and he said to them, "Go away. This little girl is not dead, but asleep." And then the crowd laughed at him. Suddenly, Jesus walked right up to the little girl where she was laying down. He took her by the hand and he said, "Get on up." And guess what? She got up.
The leper, Jairus, and the sick woman all approached Jesus with radical faith. Jesus responded to their cries for help by healing them. Even though we live thousands of years after those people, God still responds to our cries for help, and we can ask Him to heal us or someone in our family. Kids, we can be sure to know that when we take our cries of help to Jesus, we can be sure our God is our healer.